It's awesome. That's funny. That's all I said though. It was like
we went to. He is so into the martial arts culture. That the first time I met my parents loved Steven Seagal. Like my parents love Steven Seagal. They're old people from Louisiana, you know. Yeah. So it's like it's time for me to meet Steven Seagal. Guess what hotel he stays at? Mandarin Oriental, of course. It's like some Asian theme hotel. I'm like, man, dude walks in. Because this dude is big. This dude's as tall as Travis. This dude walks in first as assistant, then in walks Sensei Seagal. Starts telling me all these stories and stuff. Flips my hand a little bit. I'm like, hey. And right after I broke my hand against Barnett, I just took the cast off. So he's all, I'm like, hey, wait. My hand is still broken, Sensei. He's funny, man. He's a cool guy. You know, he's like, not too many cameras. You don't want to show none of that technique, boy. But he flipped Luke, man. I'm telling you, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Luke was trying to be strong, and he flipped his ass. Luke was trying to act strong. You want to prove that because Luke Rockhold will go above and beyond to prove to you that something that you insist works doesn't work. That's just who he is. Be like, dude, this single leg I've been working on, it's sick. I'm like, I'm going to show the team. Luke comes in the middle. He's the drilling partner. He's all defending you. And you're like, pretzeling up. And I'm like, Luke, let us teach the damn technique, you idiot. But he's the guy that will go above and beyond to make sure what you're trying to show doesn't work. So Seagal flipped his ass. I was like, oh my God, son. Everybody's like, damn, son. So funny, man. But that's the stuff, like, I need that when I'm cutting weight, because otherwise I'm just miserable. Trying to argue at people, screaming, yelling. I get, like, super miserable and, like, irritated.
So I was in a spot last week for 10 minutes in the sauna. I was like, I'm out of here.
Hey, that's what Kane does too. Kane's on my head's hot.
Yeah.
Of course you're hot in the sauna. They're freaking out. The heavyweights are freaking out. They're like,
I was sitting in there like, you know, at first I'm like, okay, this is cool, you know, 10 minutes in, I'm good. But probably like 7 minutes in, I start
getting real hot.
Start moving a little bit, you know, start adjusting your seat, start wiping the sweat off. You're like, God damn, you know. Just gotta stand up, walk around.
Don't do that.
And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, damn, I'm gonna go get in the cold pool.
The worst thing you can do is move.
Yeah,
you can't move.
You start getting all jittery.
I sit there like this. And I'm like, hey man, can you get my back real quick? Lean forward, they wipe the sweat off my back. I sit back and I try to sit still. But when you see the guy in the sauna and he starts doing this, like this dude's about to break. Because he's moving, you can't move. Like the moment you start doing that, I'm like, oh, Travis is almost out of here. Like that, Travis is gone. Yeah. You can't move. You gotta just kind of sit there.
I don't know the science behind it. Why aren't you supposed to move?
Because it makes you sweat more. But it actually gets you hotter. Yeah. Like, so when I get in there to start, I'm like moving around trying to get my sweat going, but as soon as I start to sweat, I'm just like, okay, now sit still. Now King Mo, this dude's the biggest asshole you'll ever meet in your life. He will sit next to you while you're cutting weight, and he'll be like, blowing the hot air, and all of a sudden you get this gust of hot wind on your neck, like, what the hell is that? You look back and it's Mo going. He's just blowing hot air all over you, dude, to make you even more hot. I'm like, I can't stand this dude. It's horrible.
You take a big deep breath and it makes you even hotter. You get your lungs all hot. You're like, oh, God, damn, that didn't help none.
It's horrible. There's some tricks, though. Like,
you try to fall asleep in there? Just
no. You will die. It's like 180 degrees in there. You will you will literally die if you sleep in this. Like, my buddy Zach, he coached at Oklahoma State. He used to try to read. So he would look at the newspaper, and like the sweat starts to hit the paper. The newspaper's so thin, and he's like, welcome to the fucking hot in here right now. Starter's gonna be, it's so hot, it's so hot. And he would just leave. But he would try to read, and when the sweat would start to hit the paper, it's like 2 words, like, damn, it's hot. Damn, it's hot. It's like he would do it until eventually he would break. Yeah, it sucks. But if you do the water like I do, and I do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and 10 minutes, 6 pounds. 6 pounds. With nothing on, just my shorts.
That's sweet sweat.
Abilene. I use Abilene. But just when I do my weight cut, man, I do my weight cut 1 hour, put my gear on in the sauna for just 10 minutes, and I lose what, 9.5 pounds?
So one thing that heavyweights can do is
I
can fluctuate 10 pounds on that.
I went to, when I fought Bigfoot Silva, see the picture, I was super, super fat. The night before, it was me and Javier had a Brazilian steakhouse buffet. So much salt. Me and Javier had a Brazilian steakhouse the night before I fought Bigfoot, dude. Black beans, salty meats. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It's like I had never competed in my life.
That's
following Hobbs all, hey, DC, I'll go to the buffet. I'm like, yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I've had to learn since being a heavyweight is like, not eating a dessert.
But you guys look good though. Like you guys look good.
I didn't always.
Fat.
I didn't always.
Man, you guys look good in there.
Well,
Like you
I was
look good.
I was 270 getting ready for when I fought Czech Congo, and I finally got down to like 258 or something, and I was soft.
That fight in Denver, you had lost a lot of weight since the fight before
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that UFC one.
You wanted to be
Yeah.
big and sexy.
Well, I just wanted to be lean because I felt better when I was lighter.
Yeah.
I feel better like when I'm 240, I feel good. 240 and under, I feel good. Anything heavier than that, if I'm like 250, then I start feeling heavy.
That's when King fights his best too. When he's around 240,
Yeah.
239. Because when he fought Dos Santos, he was like 249, and he was actually eating clean, so he probably was like 255. And you can see he doesn't move as well. But most of these guys like. These heavyweights now, they're not fat, man. They look pretty good.
Yeah, I remember
Bigfoot, these guys look good.
where you were saying how much you were like changing it. It was a real
Yeah, these
exciting
guys-
thing for you to change it into,
Yeah.
Hello?
I think it was the fight after Denver.
Was it? I remember you were saying,
In
you know what?
Atlanta.
Because you were saying I don't want to be a big fat
Denver,
heavyweight.
I think I was 250
Yeah.
still, and
I thought you
then
lost about that.
I did though, like because
But for
before
all
that
time, you looked. That's when you were like.
I was
really
like
turning
I
on,
weighed
right?
in at like 236.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And since then I've been right around 240. I think my last fight I was 243, but then also if I drink water that morning I'll be 3 pounds heavier. So it's not like a real 3 pounds or something.
Right.
It's like water weight. So.
And you're 6'5".
Almost 6'7".
Did you chance to see any of those new regulations about promotion for drugs recreational?
Honestly, I don't think it should be that extreme. That's a career ender.
Yeah.
2 years is you're ending somebody's career. Not a year is bad enough. If you want to send a message, I would say a financial message is harder. You still allow the guy to fight, but your pay gets cut by the 30-40%. I get it. You know what I mean? Like getting fined 30-40% of your purse or whatever. Man, to a fighter, that's a big deal. 2 years out of the game, you're not fighting anymore. Think about it. I mean, most of these guys, if you took me out for 2 years right now, I'd be 34 trying to make a comeback. No.
Don't do it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Don't do it. Yeah, that might be what they're trying to get across, but and then it's tough because they want to start implementing these come September 1st, but then you have guys from earlier this year that got popped for stuff, and it's like, that's like that gray zone, that gray area. Same thing, like right now, people are whining and complaining about like the Reebok thing, but we're just in that transition phase, People are whining about the suspensions and the fines and stuff like that, but again, we're just in that transition phase. The sport is so young, it's not like the NFL, NBA, MLB, so it's tough, but we're all in that transition right now.
You think that with the Vitor fight, we're going to see, like, okay, how much difference does testosterone really make? Because we know this guy was loaded up on testosterone during that crazy win streak he had, and now he's not. So is there going to be if there's not really a big difference, then maybe it doesn't really make that as much of a difference?
There's already an appearance, huge difference in Vitor, from what I've been told. Like the way that he looks from when he was on it to now. As far as performance goes, we'll have to wait and see. That who knows? I mean, I don't know anything about that. You know what I mean? I don't know about testosterone replacement. I'm not.
Right.
I've never had to do it, so I don't know what it feels like.
Well, Ken Shamrock's fighting at 50 something, and he's
Yeah, that dude's all, yeah, he needs to give it up.
Okay, why don't we break off into some one-on-ones? We'll leave Daniel down here. We have a room upstairs as well. We'll take Travis up there. We got